to kind of make an impact there, and how much does that lead, doing those other things lead to you finding a flow on the other end offensively?
I always have a radar on rebounding. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. But a team that shoots as many threes as they do, that requires all the guards to come back and help the bigs catch those long rebounds. Just be alert. They have a couple wings that crash the glass, so you got to put bodies on them. But when you do get those rebounds, it helps us get into the break a little quicker because the guards got the ball, and obviously, it helps us just keep them to one shot. So that I'll get double digits every game, but I have the same intentions like we should.
Steph, how much different was the defense without the shot blocking you had against Memphis? Was it a drastic difference compared to Game 6 of the last series?
Yeah, just because of the personnel, like Powell and Maxi Kleber are different than Steven Adams and Jared Jackson, but they still are a challenge in terms of you don't want to get into a crowd and you don't want to get in positions where you don't have any outlets. And for the most part, we had a couple possessions in the third quarter where we got in trouble, but for the most part, we were pretty decisive on what we wanted to attack. And once you get into the paint, you do have a couple more options, but you just got to be assertive and decisive on what you're trying to do. JP got into the paint a bunch of times, obviously finished. I think I had a couple in transition, but when we get in there are opportunities to shoot, but there's also opportunities to kick and create the good Warrior basketball ball movement that we're used to. So that's one game. We got to understand there'll probably be adjustments and respond accordingly.
Wiggins was picking up Luka full court at times. You're a guy, obviously, that defenses sometimes do that too. Does that annoy, a ball handler when you got a guy kind of constantly up in you?
Yeah, it does, and it's a tactic, obviously, in terms of just making guys work. Reggie did it to me a couple of times. It's just one more thing to think about. I wouldn't say it bothers you, but something you can't try to overcome. Wiggs is going to keep doing it, but it's just one more thing to think about, and that's good playoff basketball.
What'd you just think about his individual defense tonight, mostly on Luka?
He took the challenge, and Luka's tough, man. He still finds a way to control possessions. You got to assume he'll shoot a little bit better, but Wiggs was relentless. Every possession he was out there on him, and that's all we really want. Like, even if Luka has his numbers, you just want him at the end of the day feel like he had to work for everything he got and not give him anything easy. And we have to be able to help him on the backside, our rotations, and they want to try to bring me and JP into the pick and rolls. Communicate to Wiggs, let him know where it's coming from, and be on a string. But that point of attack, Wiggs was awesome, and he's showing what he's capable of on that end of the floor.
Steph, there was a play in the third quarter. You got trapped in the corner. You had to throw kind of a tough pass, maybe kind of a wild pass out to Draymond.
That's what I do, throw wild passes.
that play could have gone a lot of different directions, but it ends in obviously a big three. How would you kind of just describe the way that unfolds and the read that you and Draymond have to make that happen, and obviously the difficulty of the pass itself?
It was a long shot pass. I just told them in the locker room just a minute ago. I said, when I threw it and I looked back and I saw it was not going anywhere near Loon, who I was trying to throw it to, and I saw Draymond save it. Sigh of relief on that one. But the way we play, once you get it, the first pass, they had two guys on me, and then we have more actions to follow. That's what we've been doing for years. And there's a chemistry to that. So, good things usually happen. And especially the way, they try to take away the three-point line on the initial attack. We had like Loon setting a nice down screen for me to get a shot. We had guys cutting on the backside and other possessions. So it's great chemistry in terms of creating offense that way, minus the behind the head pass.
You're immediately sprinting out though to catch that pass back from Draymond. Does he already know you're going to do that? Does Loon already know you're going to do that to set that pick? Like
Absolutely.
How quickly are they figuring out that that's where this is heading?
That's just patterns. You just see me down the floor, Loon in position, set a screen, and as soon as I take my first step back towards the ball, coming off the down screen, like I'm sure Draymond's not looking at anything else. I didn't see the play, but I'm sure his eyes didn't go to the weak side at all. It's just patterns that we're used to, and you could look at a lot of different plays tonight that showed that chemistry in terms of just read and react motion offense.
Steph, was tonight as strong or as focused as a defensive performance that you guys have had all playoff as far as start to finish? And secondarily, how has Andrew evolved or changed since he's been here, since he's been in this, Warriors culture?
I don't know how to compare the rest other games, other series, but obviously when you get to this stage, you do have to elevate your execution if you want to win, because the competition gets better, and Dallas is tough. So we did a good job with one game. We got to keep doing it over and over and over again. So however you grade the execution, we got to keep leveling up. And Wiggs is understanding the nuances of what winning basketball is and just how to key in on the little things in terms of consistent effort on defense, taking those one-on-one challenges, being aggressive on the offensive end, using his athletic ability to get to the rim if he needs to, confident shooting a three, being comfortable in our offense, to Howard's question. So there's like a lot of different things that he's understanding that this time, in terms of a playoff run, requires to win games, and the joy that comes with that. So it's not like he's out there scoring 30 every night. It's the other things that help you win and the joy that you get out of it.
Steph, when you guys play in this building, do you kind of know in the back of your mind that offensive avalanche is coming eventually, whether it's the second, third, or fourth quarter?
There's always that confidence. The Memphis series kind of shook us a little bit from time to time where, 3 quarters, 3.5 quarters, it didn't seem to be clicking. But again, we're all still trying to continue to get better and peak at the right time on both ends of the floor, and we do have the ability to turn it up pretty quickly. You don't want to rely on that and be playing from behind a lot, but it is how we play, and when you have that ability to create separation like we did in the third quarter, it's a fun way to play.
You mentioned the Memphis